with big consequences. Let me ask you something. Do you make it a habit to wash your hands before going to bed? I know it might sound like an odd question. Most people I talk to say, why would I didn't do anything messy. I'm just going to sleep. I used to feel the same way. That was until one night when I woke up rubbing my eyes, feeling itchy and uncomfortable. I had no idea what caused it, until a doctor gave me a wake-up call. Throughout the day, even if you don't go outside much, your hands touch all kinds of surfaces, remote controls, phones, doorknobs, faucets, and especially the bathroom. Those hands then go straight to your bed. You touch your pillow, your face, sometimes even your eyes or mouth, all without realizing the invisible germs you're transferring. And here's the science, according to the CDC. Regular hand washing can reduce your chances of respiratory and stomach infections by nearly 23%. But for many of us over 60, especially those with weaker immune systems, that number can mean the difference between a peaceful night and a restless one. It's a common hygiene mistake after 60, and it flies under the radar. Take my neighbor in Phoenix, Arizona, Mr. Walter, 72 years old. He's a retired mail carrier, sharp as a tack, but for months he was struggling with red, irritated eyes. He tried eye drops, allergy pills, even switched laundry detergents. Nothing helped. Then, one evening, his daughter noticed him rubbing his eyes while watching TV in bed with hands he hadn't washed since dinner. It clicked. From that night on, he started washing his hands before bed. Within a week, the irritation was gone. Completely. As we age, our skin becomes thinner and more sensitive. Our immune defenses don't respond as quickly. That means even a small exposure to bacteria can lead to mild skin infections, itchy eyes, or lingering inflammation, especially if you already have conditions like diabetes or arthritis. It's not about being overly clean, it's about protecting yourself with smart, simple steps. So here's what I've started doing. I keep a gentle hand soap next to the bathroom sink and make it a non-negotiable part of my senior bedtime routine. Just 30 seconds with warm water and soap before climbing into bed. That's all it takes. I dry my hands with a fresh towel and turn off the lights, knowing I've done something good for my health. You'd be amazed how something so small can help you sleep better, feel cleaner, and stay healthier as the years go on. 2. Reusing the same bath towel for too long, a trap hiding in plain sight. Let me ask you honestly, how often do you change your bath towel? If you're like I used to be, it might be once a week, maybe even longer. After all, it's your clean body drying off, right? So how dirty could the towel be? That's exactly what I thought, until one evening, I noticed a musty smell every time I wiped my face. I ignored it. Then, a few mornings later, I started waking up with tiny red bumps on my back and neck. I assumed it was my age or maybe my laundry detergent, but I was wrong. A damp towel hanging in a poorly ventilated bathroom is the perfect breeding ground for bacteria, mold, and even dust mites. Every time you dry your body, even if it's just after a shower, the towel picks up dead skin cells and moisture. And if it doesn't dry completely, it becomes a cozy nest for germs overnight. Studies from dermatology journals show that bacteria like Staphylococcus aureus can live on damp fabric for several days. For younger folks, this might not be a big issue, but for those of us in our 60s or older, with thinning skin and slower immune response, it's a different story. I remember my friend Linda, 68 from Michigan, sweet woman, always kept her home tidy, but she had this habit of using the same towel for over a week. She'd hang it on the back of the bathroom door, where it barely dried. One summer, she developed a mild but persistent rash on her shoulders. After trying creams and lotions, her doctor finally asked about her towels. She was shocked. When she switched to fresh towels every 2-3 days and started drying them in sunlight, the rash disappeared in just a few days. After 60, our skin becomes more fragile. That's not just aging, that's biology. We also heal more slowly, and our immune defenses aren't what they used to be. Reusing a damp, bacteria-filled towel is one of those bad hygiene habits elderly people often overlook, but it can quietly harm your health, increasing your risk of skin irritation, fungal infections, or even more serious issues if bacteria enter through microcuts or scratches. Here's what I do now. I rotate 2 or 3 towels and switch them out every 2 to 3 days. I hang them in a well-ventilated spot, not in the bathroom if it's still damp, and when the weather's good, I dry them outside in the sun. If possible, use thinner, quick-dry towels that don't hold moisture. And remember, a towel's job is to dry you, not to carry yesterday's bacteria onto your clean skin. You'll be surprised how such a small change can bring fresher skin, fewer rashes, and one less hidden health risk in your senior bedtime routine. 3. Storing your toothbrush. Too close to the toilet, a hidden danger in the bathroom. Here's something most people never think about. Where do you keep your toothbrush? If it's in a cup or holder right next to the toilet, well, you're not alone. I used to do the same thing. It was convenient, simple, never gave it a second thought. Until one day, I read something that made my stomach turn. When you flush a toilet, especially one without a lid, microscopic particles of water, bacteria, and even fecal matter are launched into the air. Yes, I know, that sounds gross, but it's backed by science. This is called the toilet plume. According to studies from the Journal of Hospital Infection, these aerosolized particles can travel up to 6 feet and stay suspended in the air for minutes. And if your toothbrush is nearby, it's catching all of it. Now imagine using that toothbrush every night before bed, unknowingly putting those bacteria into your mouth right before you sleep. When your immune system starts to wind down, that's one bedtime hygiene mistake that can silently damage your health, especially after 60 when we're more vulnerable to gum infections, cavities, and oral bacteria. My cousin, Paul, 66, lives in a small apartment in Florida. He's neat, healthy, and brushes twice a day without fail, but he kept getting recurring gum inflammation. His dentist couldn't figure it out until one day, during a routine cleaning, the hygienist casually asked, "Where do you store your toothbrush?" Turns out, Paul kept it in a holder about 18 inches from the toilet, no lid on the tank. Once he moved it to the medicine cabinet and started rinsing it under hot water before each use, the problem disappeared within a week. As we get older, our oral health plays a bigger role in overall wellness. In fact, thus poor oral hygiene is linked to heart disease, diabetes complications, and respiratory infections, especially in seniors. So storing your toothbrush properly isn't just about being tidy, it's about protecting your immune system, your heart, and your sleep. For older adults, even small bacterial exposures can tip the balance and cause weeks of discomfort or illness. Here's what I recommend. Always close the toilet lid before flushing. That alone reduces aerosol spread by up to 80%. Store your toothbrush in a closed cabinet or at least 6 feet away from the toilet. Rinse it with hot water before each use, especially if it's been sitting out during the day. Replace your toothbrush every 3 months, or sooner if the bristles look worn. It's a simple fix, but you'll feel better knowing you're brushing your teeth with something that's truly clean, not something quietly contaminated by your own bathroom. Sometimes, hygiene isn't about what we do, it's about what we overlook. And this is one habit you don't want to ignore in your senior bedtime routine. 4. Wearing tight or unwashed pajamas. The sleep habit that could be making you sick. Be honest, when was the last time you washed your pajamas? And do they still fit comfortably? Or have they become snug over the years, I ask, because I used to wear the same old set of pajamas for days, sometimes even a week. They were soft, familiar, and honestly, I didn't think twice about it, but I started waking up feeling itchy around my waist and underarms. Nothing serious, just annoying. Until one day, I read an article that changed the way I looked at bedtime clothing forever. As we sleep, our bodies sweat, shed dead skin cells, and produce natural oils even if we shower beforehand. Those particles get trapped in fabric, especially tight-fitting clothes that rub against your skin. When pajamas aren't washed frequently, or if they're too snug, they can create a warm, moist environment perfect for bacteria and fungi to grow. According to dermatologists, sleeping in dirty or tight clothes increases the risk of folliculitis, inflammation of hair follicles, yeast infections, and skin irritation, particularly in people over 60 who already have thinner, more sensitive skin. My Aunt Judy, 71, lives alone in Oregon. She's healthy, active, and very independent. But one day she called me complaining about itchy red patches behind her knees and on her back. We talked through her routine, no new detergent, no diet changes. Then she mentioned she had a favorite flannel pajama set she wore almost every night because it was cozy, but she hadn't washed it in over a week, and it fit snugger than it used to. Her doctor confirmed it mild contact dermatitis from trapped sweat and friction. After she started rotating her sleepwear and choosing looser cotton sets, the rash cleared up within days. After age 60, our skin loses elasticity, becomes more prone to irritation, and takes longer to heal. Wearing tight or dirty clothes to bed may not seem harmful, but over time, it quietly contributes to poor skin hygiene, discomfort, and even interrupted sleep. Good sleep hygiene for elderly isn't just about when you go to bed. It's about what touches your skin for 6 to 8 hours every night. Here's what I've changed in my own bedtime routine. I wear loose, breathable pajamas, preferably made of cotton or bamboo. I wash them every 2-3 wears, not once a week like I used to. I avoid tight waistbands or sleeves that press into the skin while sleeping. And when it's hot, I switch to lightweight sleepwear or even just a clean t-shirt and shorts. It's such a small change, but you'll notice it in how you sleep: fewer itches, fewer rashes, and just a greater sense of freshness and comfort. Because the clothes you sleep in should care for your body, not irritate it. Should arrive. Not cleaning your bedding. Often enough, the hidden threat beneath the sheets. Here's a personal question. When was the last time you washed your pillowcases or changed your sheets? If it takes you a moment to remember, you're not alone. I used to be the same. I'd change my sheets maybe every 2 weeks, sometimes longer if I was feeling tired or just forgot. After all, it's your bed, it looks clean. Right, but just because something looks clean doesn't mean it's safe. Every night, while you sleep, your body sheds dead skin cells, sweat, natural oils, and in some cases, traces of saliva or even skin flakes from dry patches or scalp conditions. Over time, these build up in your sheets and pillowcases, creating a cozy feast for dust mites, bacteria, and fungi. According to research from the American Academy of Dermatology, pillowcases that aren't changed regularly can harbor acne-causing bacteria, while dirty sheets increase your risk of skin rashes, respiratory irritation, and allergic reactions, especially in older adults with weakened immune systems or chronic lung issues. My friend Charles, 73, from Ohio, used to wake up congested every morning, stuffy nose, dry cough, and itchy skin. He blamed it on old age or pollen. His doctor even tested him for seasonal allergies, but everything came back normal. Eventually, his daughter visited for the weekend and noticed he hadn't changed his sheets in almost a month. His pillowcase, a faded yellow, oily from nightly use. She washed everything that same day. Hot water, fresh detergent, sun-dried. And within 48 hours, Charles woke up breathing clearly for the first time in weeks. As we get older, we spend more time in bed resting, recovering, sometimes even reading or watching TV. That means our exposure to whatever's in our bedding increases. And since our skin and lungs are more sensitive with age, poor bedding hygiene can quietly wear down our health. Not washing your sheets often enough is one of the most overlooked bad hygiene habits among the elderly. Yet it's one of the easiest to fix. Here's my new routine, and it's made a world of difference. I wash my pillowcases every 3-4 days. Since they touch my face and hair the most, I change my sheets weekly, using warm or hot water to kill bacteria and mites. I air out my bed in the morning, pull back the blankets to let moisture escape. And when possible, I dry my bedding in the sun, nature's disinfectant. Just like brushing your teeth or washing your hands, cleaning your bedding is part of good senior hygiene routine, not just for comfort, but for health. Because at this age, it's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent. And a clean bed is one of the best gifts you can give your body every single night. Dear friend, sometimes it's the smallest bedtime habits that quietly shape our health, especially as we grow older. I'm not here to worry you, but to remind you with just a few simple changes each night, you can sleep better, feel fresher, and stay healthier day by day. If you found this video helpful, please click like so YouTube knows this is worth sharing. I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and tell me which habits surprised you the most, or share your own tips with the community. And if you'd like more warm, practical guidance for healthy aging, subscribe to the channel and be sure to turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any future videos. Wishing you peaceful sleep and a graceful, healthy journey through your golden